We are the painters of our world. We are creators. We decide what goes.
Welcome to the Educate Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Danny Morrison. And I'm so glad you're joining us because we have a great show planned. Today, we're turning our spotlight on a remarkable organization making a significant impact on the lives of Black California community college students. It's no secret that the journey through higher education can be tough. But for Black students, those challenges can often seem like they are amplified. Fortunately, California's community colleges and their partners like the NANDI organization, who we're highlighting today, are there to help address the systemic barriers, cultural differences, and underrepresentation that make it difficult for Black students, especially Black women, to succeed. The NANDI organization is dedicated to empowering Black women throughout the California community college system. They provide scholarships, mentorship, professional development, and other support to help Black women succeed academically and beyond. Research shows us that mentorship like this is proven to improve academic success, mental health and well-being, and career opportunities after graduation for our college students. In addition, we know that this kind of support builds a sense of community and belonging, which is particularly important for our Black students who often feel alone. NANDI is a powerful force for change and is dedicated to empowering Black female students to achieve their goals. Through their work, NANDI is creating a space where Black women can thrive. But don't just take my word for it. Let's get right to our guests so that they can tell you in their own words about the impact this organization is having for students across California. Our first guest, Dr. Nisha Savage, is a founding member of the NANDI organization. She is also a professor and counselor at San Diego City College, where she previously served as the Dean of Student Development and Matriculation and Personal Growth. Dr. Savage, it is a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. You can call me Nisha.
Got it. Received. So tell us about the NANDI organization and why you feel it's important to Black women.
Well, first, I would want to say thank you for just creating this platform for programs like NANDI and Amend and Umoja to come on and showcase the work that we're doing to support Black student success in the system. So thank you.
We appreciate that.
Appreciate the opportunity. And so NANDI, we have been around for about 3 years. Our focus is basically on Black women, not just Black women who are professionals, but also Black women who are students who attend California Community College. Our mission is to support institutions building capacity to support the success of Black women who work in and attend community college. Our core focus areas are professional development, research, advocacy, and mentorship. And so we're just excited to be doing the work. So we want to give a shout out to the Chancellor's Office, the California Community College Chancellor's Office. They have supported us with the funding, which has allowed us to do some great work.
Wonderful. I love it. Nisha, tell us, why is NANDI specific to community college?
When you think about Black students specifically who pursue higher education, they do so through the community college system. And so community colleges play a very critical role in ensuring that Black students have the skills necessary to participate and be successful in the state's economy. And so for us, it becomes extremely important, not just for us, but like programs like Amend, like Umoja, the work that we're doing with Black Student Success Week, all of those programs, it's important for them to be supported because we're supporting Black students who are coming into our system. Community colleges are important. I'm actually a proud grad of community colleges too.
Nice.
And so, it holds a special place in my heart as well.
Sounds like you had a purpose from jump. I love it.
I did.
So what drove you to help start NANDI?
So I'll just share a little bit about my personal story. I won't go too deep because I have a lot of years on me. I served as the Dean of Student Development and Matriculation for 5 years. And most of the challenges I feel came because of the fact that I was a woman and that I was a Black woman specifically. And so, when you think about the complexities when you're dealing with like intersectionality in terms of like sexism and racism, being a Black woman, I had to deal with all of that. And any Black woman who's in a position of leadership, most of the people that you're interacting with are men. And so I found that what was really challenging was that piece of it. And to be quite honest, like there were so many times I was like, I'm quitting. I don't get paid enough. Like I'm literally going to quit. But because of that passion that you talk about, like the significance of having somebody like me sitting in the seat when there's not that many of us kept me going. And then also me being able to find community with other women and Black women specifically also was like my lifeline. And so a few of us who were, administrators just started meeting sort of informally to really talk about all the stuff that we were going through that you really could not share with other people, right? And so being able to do that was just therapeutic. And so we started talking about like, maybe we need to formalize this, right? Maybe we need to really formalize this because the work is important. Other Black women need to also have a space where they can come and, feel supported and understood because oftentimes Black women, we feel very invisible. We feel very misunderstood and very dismissed. And so to kind of bring awareness to that, having an organization to bring awareness to that and also to provide support was going to be some important work that needed to be done. And who else to do it but us? And so we stepped up and we did.
Who else to do it than us?
Right.
But I'd love to know, what makes Nandi different than organizations like Amend and Umoja?
What's different is just being intentional about addressing the unique needs that Black women face. Like I said, when you're dealing with sexism and racism and, the fact that, as a Black woman, we are dealing with those double compounded, kind of like oppressions. And so, having something like Nandi, where we're Black women who are able to really talk about what it is that we need, right? And also hear from other Black women in the system because we've started to do some work where we've done some what's called Nandi pop-ups at campuses. So we went to Compton College, we went to Fullerton College, and we literally just had like a rap session with the Black women who were on the campus.
I love
and we
that.
were asking them, so what are your challenges? As opposed to trying to speak for them, really being able to hear from Black women what their challenges are and being able to share that with their institutions so that they can address those challenges to better support, the women who work there and who attend their college as students.
That's fantastic. Now, earlier in the conversation, we were talking about the importance of soft skills and dual enrollment. Can you tell me how those two things work in concert with one another?
In my role as a dean, I had the opportunity to hire like a lot of student workers. And so what I found with our younger generation is that, the interpersonal skills are lacking. Because they're always on their phone, everything is texting. And it's like, I had to share with them many times, listen, when you're going into a job interview, you're mostly going to be interviewed by like the Gen Xers, right? And so you really need to know what's important to us, right? And what we value when you show up. Or you need to be able to communicate. Like we are humans, we need human interaction. You have to talk, you have to not be uncomfortable and awkward. We can do a lot of workshops around like, workplace etiquette and the soft skills that are needed and even practicing like role playing is so powerful. I do it still, right? When I'm in an interview or whatever. And so doing that is, going to be really important for our Black students, our Black female students as they start to enter the workforce. And then in terms of dual enrollment, I feel like it's a game changer. I have 2 daughters who are attending San Diego State right now, and both of them entered San Diego State having 9 units under their belt because of dual enrollment. In the past, it used to be that, in order for students who are in high school to be able to earn college credit, they had to be in AP. And not just in AP, like they had to take an AP test and score a certain score in order to actually get that credit.
Right.
And so we could imagine that for many of the Black students and other students of color, they were not getting asked to be in AP classes. Therefore, they were not getting the opportunity to earn college credit like their counterparts. And so when you talk about dual enrollment, the reason why I say it's a game changer is because it's open to everybody. Because community college, it's an open access, right? And so you can be whoever and take a college course when you're in high school and earn college credit. That could be your English and your math, so that when you get to the higher education, you're more likely already to, be successful and transfer and get a higher degree. And so, yeah, dual enrollment is that's why I say it's a game changer. And a lot of people don't know about it.
Right.
Right. And so again, that's an area that, we're, as Nandi, we're hoping to tap into. Like, what can we do to bring awareness where parents know and understand the importance? Because many parents don't know. How would they know, right? Because it's not something that was provided when they were in high school. And it really does feel like it's too good to be true, right?
Now, this appears to be personal for you.
Yeah.
And I think the community would like to thank you for making it personal for you because you've done such great work. So what made you start this work and co-found Nandi? What was it that drew you to the work?
So when I think about my why and why I came to community college, you mentioned earlier, it's like your purpose. I felt like this was literally what I was destined to do. I know it sounds corny, but it's the truth. We don't really join this work for the money. We do it because we care.
There it is.
And so I come from Santa Ana, and I, went to high school at Santa Ana High School, which honestly was an under-resourced, underperforming school that had a large population of Black and brown students. And quite frankly, I don't think that there was much expectation for us in terms of like graduating or even getting a college degree. And so I transferred to community college. I took what I called a scenic route. I had a baby, my oldest daughter.
That's great, a scenic route.
Right. And so I was a teenage mom. Right, essentially. I'm proud to say that my oldest daughter, who is a millennial, she is actually a practicing lawyer.
Wow.
Currently in LA. But, it was some challenges, literally. Like, going to community college, it was because of programs like EOPS and my amazing counselors that I'm even here today. I got through community college, transferred to San Diego State, was able to get most of my stuff paid for because I was low income. And again, I owe a great deal of that to the California community college system. I feel like it's my obligation to center the voices of Black students and other students who come from marginalized groups so that they can also have the same access to success and opportunities that I have.
You just gave me chills when you said that. Love that. Thank you for your work as well.
Thank you.
So how can people find out more about you, about Nandi, and get involved with this organization?
Well, the good news is that we've done some good work with our Black Student Success Week, and we've done some collaboration with I Can Go to College, which is also an amazing initiative that we have in our state. And so you can go right to icangotocollege.com and click on their Black Student Success page, and you'll see Nandi, along with other programs on there. You can click on there, and it takes you right to the website. We also are on Instagram at Nandi_org. And so, that's how you can find out more about the work that we're doing. So follow us.
Well, on behalf of the Educate Elevate podcast and California Community Colleges, we appreciate you, Nisha, for coming in and spending your time with us today.
Thank you so much, Danny, for having me.
Our next guest is Hodan Hassan. Hodan is entering her final year as a nursing student at San Diego City College, and she is going to talk about the positive impact the Nandi organization has made in her life. Hodan, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Now, before we jump in, tell us about yourself and your journey immigrating to the U.S. from Kenya, now pursuing your nursing degree at SDCC. You got to tell the audience all about it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, first of all. I appreciate it. When I came here, I started off in middle school, 6th grade, where I kind of got bullied. And it was really tough. But at one point, I wanted to drop out. And then I was just kind of looking for a hope or any type of sign. And then in middle school, every time the seniors in high school were graduating, like the seniors would wear their top and down and come to our school and just walk in front of us. And that motivated me to see, maybe I kind of don't want to drop out. Like, I just want to go to high school and see what the future has for me. And I was like, I want to see myself in that top and down one day. And I decided to go to high school and graduate. And then COVID kind of hit my senior year.
Ooh.
So, and that was a pain. Like, it was a struggle because I really wanted to see myself graduate.
So you never walked across the stage?
I never walked the stage, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was the first year of COVID. I graduated through Zoom.
Oh, you still graduated, though.
Yeah, I still graduated. Yes, I did. Yeah.
Now, tell us about Nandi. First of all, I want to know how you found out about Nandi yourself, and tell us about the organization, how you've been involved with it.
So I was in the Umoja program, and our advisor that controls like the Umoja program at San Diego State College. She kind of emailed me and she was like, hey, some of the students voted you to go to the Nandi conference. Like, do you want to go? And I was like, sorry, can you kind of explain it to me what it is? Because I've never heard of it. And she kind of just give me an idea. Like, she was like, that's where a lot of women come together, like those women who are successful. I just heard women's and successful in a sentence. I was like, sign me up. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up. That kind of be my motivation. I was like, either way, I was looking for a sign. So I was like, that tend to just be my sign. And I was like, sign me up.
I love your spirit. I just want to say that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wow. Now, there's some wonderful Black female mentors over at Nandi. Why is it important to you for people to see successful Black females out here in society?
Because back in our country, like all we used to do was just go to school, home. There was no such thing as like people that are successful except like the polices, like the government. I didn't even know like degrees existed in my life. I came here when I was 11 and I never see someone that's like saying, I fought for this education. I did this. I remember like half of the kids back home, they used to be forced to go to school. Like their parents would kind of force them to go to school because they didn't want it. I feel like they kind of lost hope because I did too. But also my mom and my siblings kind of also came up. I'm like, my mom went all through this, so I'm not going to disappoint her, And coming here, just since then, I was like, you know what? Every time I see somebody successful, I'm going to take notes because that is what motivates me. I'm pretty sure like my siblings too, it's just like, it's a habit that we grow up around, that every time we see somebody successful, we're like, they literally went through hell for that, to achieve that degree, to get wherever they are today. I know they worked very, very hard for it.
Very likely. I love that, by the way.
Thank you.
So would you recommend Black female students use Nandi and the mentors there?
Definitely. Every person in this world just kind of needs that one little thing that can hit home for them, where it's motivation, where it's words, where it's experience, anything. For me, it was definitely the seeing them being successful, and I'm pretty sure others would feel the same way too. But I feel like Nandi, any person that goes to Nandi would just, I know they would change their life by seeing like all those successful people coming together, describing themselves and everything.
Love that. Now, we talk about 5-year plans here on the Educate Elevate podcast. Do you plan to achieve a bachelor's degree?
Yes, definitely. I do. This is my last year. I just want to graduate, take one summer vacation to get out of everything out of my school.
Yes.
And then take my TEAS exam. That's my major goal right now. I already started looking for it. And after that, I'm going to just apply to every single nursing program in this world. And then after 1 year of being a good experience in nursing, I'm trying to go back and get my bachelor's and then medical field, and then one day become a doctor. Nursing is just starting for me.
When and how did you make the decision to join a community college?
It was a night where my mom has asthma and thyroid, and one night she was coughing very, very bad. And I remember me and my siblings were sitting around her because we thought that was like her final moment, because we never experienced her like just being in that position, like coughing so bad. And we remember her asthma was very, very bad, And we just thought like she was dying. And I remember, my English at that point was kind of good. And I remember my older siblings weren't home. So it kind of put me in a tough position. So I remember I went down to the neighbors. I was like, please, like, come watch the siblings. I'm going to dial 911 for my mom, And I called them and they came. And I remember saying, if anything happens, I want to be there, like, final moment, like anything kind of happens. And I was like, can you please watch my little siblings until my older siblings came? And I remember that time I didn't have a phone. So as we were in the EMT, the emergency, and the guy, because I was crying so bad, and the guy, I remember, he was so nice. He was just kind of distracting me, asking me like, what was my major, what I want to be. And then seeing my mom on that bed, I remember saying, one day I want to be a doctor.
Oh.
I want to be the one to care my mom if she's sick. I want to do that for my mom. So if my sibling is to get sick, I want to cure them. I want to find a medication for them. And since then, I was like, it's already too late to apply to universities, although my grades were good. I was like, I might as well just go to community college and see what I learned, like if I want to change my mind. But I was like, at that point, seeing my mom, I was like, there's no way I'm going to change my mind. I want to be a doctor one day. I want to be a doctor.
I love watching you get emotional, talk about your mom and your family. How important would it be for you to get that degree and become a doctor at the end?
very, very important because my sister just graduated from SDSU this year, and my older brother just got his pilot license. He graduated also. I remember my sister when she was walking the stage after they said her bachelor degree and her name, and there was a girl that had a doctorate degree. And I remember my mom kind of pointed at me and saying, one day before I die, I want to see you cross that stage. And I was like, trust me, that dream of yours is never going to die as long as I'm alive. So I was like, I will achieve that, and you will be proud.
Now, you're a part of multiple organizations within the community college system. What sets Nandi apart from all the other wonderful organizations?
I feel like Nandi was an eye-opening for me, like where it made me so eager to be a doctor, so eager to be a nurse, because seeing a lot of successful females, where they're Black or not Black, I was like, I want to be the position that they are today. I know they went through a lot to achieve where they are today.
Love that. So there is a young Black female watching the show right now, perhaps someone who immigrated from another country that is watching, that thinks that they don't have a chance. All the odds are against them. They can't do it. Talk to that person and tell them what they need to hear today.
All I'm going to say is no matter what in this life, you might think, oh, hopes is gone, because I was there. I was on the same boat as you are today. I just want to say you only need that one little thing that's going to open a lot of doors for me, which was from my mom, because that's how I decided I want to be a doctor. And I know one day you're going to be successful. You're going to be like, you're going to say, I did not know this is where I was going to be. You're going to be a guidance for your siblings if you have any. You're going to be a guidance for your parents. And also other people might be watching you one day, wherever you are in this life, wherever you decide to become. So don't lose hope.
Well, Hodan Hassan, on behalf of the Educate Elevate podcast and California Community Colleges, thank you so much for coming in and telling us your story.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks to our guests, Dr. Anisha Savage and Hodan Hassan, for giving us a glimpse into the incredible work of the Nandi organization. By providing mentorship, resources, and a strong support system, Nandi is empowering Black women to succeed and thrive at California's community colleges. If you're a student looking for support or interested in learning more about the possibilities available at our community colleges, check out icangotocollege.com. Once you're there, click on Black and African American Student Success to get a ton of great information about organizations committed to helping Black students find community on their college campus, such as Nandi, Umoja, Amend, and Black student unions. You'll also find information about financial aid opportunities, career pathways, guaranteed transfer programs, and more. You can even use the locator tool to enter your zip code and find the contact information and other resources available at your local college. That's icangotocollege.com. Until next time, take care of yourself. And remember, to educate is to elevate.
We are the painters of our world. We are creators. We decide what goes.